National Forecast Discussion. Good morning, this is the nation's weather summary. While the primary coastal cyclone is pulling away from the mid-Atlantic, the severe impacts across the southeast are far from over. In Wilmington, North Carolina, and extreme northeastern South Carolina, the heavy snowfall continues this morning, potentially adding another 6 inches on top of widespread 10-plus inch totals. This snowfall event rivals historic storms, with travel expected to remain extremely treacherous for days as any melting snow immediately refreezes into black ice. Inland, some cities in the northern Midlands of South Carolina are not expected to rise above freezing at all today, severely limiting snow melt. Further north, along the New England coastline, the extreme cold is adding a dangerous layer to coastal flooding threats. For communities like Nantucket, which remains under a high wind warning with gusts up to 60 miles per hour, high astronomical tides combined with storm surge could cause water inundation to immediately freeze on shoreline roads, significantly delaying drainage and prolonging impacts through Monday morning's high tide cycle. Meanwhile, the high elevations of the Appalachians continue to endure some of the nation's most dangerous cold. Wind chills are expected to dip below 20 degrees below zero in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania and 15 below zero across the higher mountains northeast of Asheville, North Carolina. In the nation's interior, a fast-moving clipper system is traversing the upper Midwest today. Residents across north-central and northeast Iowa are expecting a quick 1 to 1.5 inches of accumulation. However, the greater concern is farther south, where light snow may mix with or change to freezing drizzle and mist from Algona to Marshalltown to Carroll, leading to dangerous slick spots on roadways this morning. In contrast, the cold air is retreating across the plains. High temperatures across western Kansas are expected to rebound into the 60-degree range this afternoon, a sudden 20 to 30-degree jump from yesterday. Finally, we look west, where an overwhelmingly warm pattern dominates. In Los Angeles and Ventura counties, temperatures are forecast to surge into the 80 to 90-degree range by Wednesday, potentially setting calendar day records, alongside moderate Santa Ana wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Phoenix, Arizona, is also forecast to tie or break its daily record high today, with lower desert locations expecting temperatures to regularly hit 85 degrees through the week. National Short-Range Forecast. Heavy snow across the Carolinas tapers off early this morning, but high winds will spread farther up the east coast today as the intense cyclone slides out to sea. An intense surge of Arctic air behind the coastal storm is bringing below freezing temperatures and wind chills into South Florida this morning. An Alberta clipper will spread wintry precipitation across the northern plains today and into the upper Great Lakes into tonight with a steady warm-up afterwards. The core of an Arctic air mass that has dived unusually far south into the southeastern United States is beginning to move out into the Atlantic Ocean this Sunday morning. The extremely cold air aloft moving over the warm Gulf Stream is working in concert with a compact upper-level low to form an intense cyclone just off the North Carolina coast. The explosive deepening rate of this cyclone is producing very gusty winds in the midst of moderate to heavy snow across the eastern North Carolina early this morning. This intense cyclone is beginning to slide further off the mid-Atlantic coast, allowing the snow to taper off by around sunrise. However, the continued intensification and expansion of the cyclone will spread high winds up the east coast early today with some light snow brushing southeastern Massachusetts. The cyclone will be moving further away into the Atlantic, which will allow the winds to gradually subside by tonight along the east coast. In the wake of the intense cyclone, bitterly cold air will surge down Florida Peninsula this morning with freezing temperatures penetrating all the way down toward the southern coastline. Temperatures this cold have not been experienced across southern Florida since the record cold month of December 1989. Extreme cold warnings are in effect across much of the southeast all the way down towards southern Florida, where freeze warnings and cold weather advisories are in effect. In addition, blustery northwesterly winds will create dangerously cold wind chills into this morning. Much colder than normal temperatures will engulf much of the eastern United States today. Bundle up and cover your mouth if you are outside, ensure pets and animals have protection from the cold, and continue to take steps to prevent frozen pipes. A gradual moderating trend is forecast for the eastern United States through the next couple of days, but temperatures will remain colder than normal for early February. Meanwhile, an Alberta clipper is tracking across the southern Canadian prairies and heading into the upper Great Lakes by tonight. An associated warm front will extend southward across the high plains with overrunning light snow and wintry mix conditions at the southernmost portions of the cyclone through the eastern Dakotas and Minnesota today, and Wisconsin and upper and lower Michigan on Monday. Spots of 1 to 3 inches of snow are possible, and portions of the Dakotas are under winter weather advisories. After clearing, the air will warm due to clearing skies across the northern plains and the downslope regions of the high plains, with daily highs close to or even warmer than portions of Florida, reaching the 50s and low 60s possible today and Monday, or about 10 to 20 degrees above normal. By Monday night into Tuesday morning, a new low-pressure wave should be developing over the south-central plains heading northeastward with little precipitation. In the Pacific Northwest, on and off precipitation in the form of rain in the coastal regions, and snow, mixed precipitation in upslope regions is expected to continue for the next few days. A series of upper-level troughs and associated weakening fronts from the Pacific will be moving onshore. These systems will bring above-average moisture content, and combined with strong onshore flow, a period of heavy precipitation is expected in upslope regions of northwest Washington and the coastal regions of Oregon today. Much of the western United States will remain milder than normal, a stark contrast to the frigid conditions in the eastern United States. Extended forecast. The main weather headline going into the second half next week will be the extended duration of below-average temperatures across a large portion of the eastern United States, where persistent upper-level troughing will remain and widespread snow cover limits daytime highs. Out west, the theme of mild conditions and lack of significant rain or snow is expected to continue going into next week, with drought conditions worsening in many areas. The exception to this will be across Washington and western Oregon, where enough onshore flow should exist for periods of showers and mountain snow late Friday and into the weekend as deeper moisture from the Pacific is advected inland. In terms of precipitation elsewhere, warm air advection ahead of a cold front over the deep south will fuel the development of more widespread rainfall from the central Gulf Coast to the coastal Carolinas, with perhaps some embedded thunderstorms closer to the Florida Peninsula. There has been a general southward shift with the main rainfall axis with this system, but no excessive rainfall areas are currently warranted given uncertainty on the extent of the warm sector and moisture return. Another clipper system is likely to bring additional snows to the Great Lakes region and into portions of New England late next week. Severe weather outlook Day 1. Thunderstorm potential appears low today and tonight. Severe weather outlook Day 2. Thunderstorms are not expected across the United States on Monday or Monday night. Severe weather outlook Day 3. Severe thunderstorms are not expected on Tuesday or Tuesday night. Space weather update. Solar activity will likely continue at moderate to high levels due to M-class flares, R1-R2 radio blackouts, with a slight chance for an isolated X-class flare, R3 strong or greater, through the 3rd of February given the evolution and history of region 4366. Atlantic tropical outlook. The Atlantic hurricane season is currently inactive. Routine issuance will resume on May 15. Pacific tropical outlook. The Pacific hurricane season is currently inactive. Routine issuance will resume on May 15. Warnings summary. There are currently 200 active life safety warnings across the continental United States. This day in weather history. In 1951, a massive ice storm began, stretching from Texas to Pennsylvania. Tennessee was hardest hit, with ice 4 inches thick causing 25 deaths and over $100 million in damage. In 1985, a bitter cold wave saw Maybell, Colorado, plummet to 61 degrees below zero. National temperature extremes. The national high temperature in the last 24 hours was 90 and 6 miles west of Fallbrook, California. The national low was -24 in Berlin, New Hampshire. Did you know? Warm air can hold more water vapor than cold air. This is why it feels more humid in the summer than in the winter.